Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to part 2 of the King of Carnage tournament. And we have 8 brand new competitors here for you this evening, including one surprise entrant, who of course, as you can see right here, is going to be Eric Young. That's spelt wrong, isn't it? I'm sure Eric Young is spelt with a C. That's a bit awkward. What a great way to start an episode, eh? With incorrect spelling. I'm sure it's Eric Young with a C. Unless WWE have changed it. Let's have a go. Yep, Eric Young with a C. Okay, I'll have to change that then after this. But yeah, Eric Young making a surprise appearance here. He is going to be our special guest for this King of Carnage tournament. Alongside him this evening, we've got plenty of big matches for you actually. Let me have a quick look at the old roster. Or not roster, the tournament list, sorry. What is that? I fixed the wrong thing. Here we go. Come on. Well, Eric Young is going to be facing off against the man that I think he did face off against a few times in TNA, and that, of course, is going to be Bubba Ray Dudley one-on-one. Right, here we go. Here we go. I've got the list now. So we have got Bubba Ray Dudley versus Eric Young. We have got next up for you Rhyno Vs Mil Muertes, and what's going to be a hell of a battle, the big guys. We've got Raven versus Bray Wyatt, and then to finish things off here this evening, we've got Chris Hero versus Pentagon Jr. So of course, one of these 8 guys is going to make it into the final to face up against the winner of course, bracket number 1, which we started yesterday. So if you've not seen that, be sure to go back and check it out. I honestly can't remember who won. Because of course I've recorded all of bracket 1 already, because that's just the way the game works. You can't have 2 tournaments on go at once. So I've recorded all of bracket 1. Now I'm recording all of bracket 2, and I've literally forgotten already, even though it only happened like 4 hours ago. I've completely forgotten who actually won bracket 1. So it'd be a nice surprise for me, not just you guys as well. So definitely go back and check that out. And tomorrow we've got episode 3, which will be the semi-finals and the final of bracket 1. And then in a couple of days' time we'll have episode 4, which will be the semi-finals and the final of bracket 2. And then we're going to have a special, of course, episode, as we normally do at the end of a tournament, featuring quite a lot of the hardcore stars from around the company. Like I said, this is not in place of the King of the Deathmatch tournament. That will happen pretty soon as well. This is just a little extra thing I wanted to do, just sort of giving the wrestlers a chance. The wrestlers that are good wrestlers but renowned for using weapons as well, were the ones that I really wanted to use in here, just to try and help get the rankings sorted out a bit better as well. But then we will do a King of the Deathmatch tournament pretty soon, and I'm looking forward to that actually. And more details will come out of that pretty soon, because I think that might be something we look at doing pretty soon actually. So it'll be worth keeping an eye out for that. Yeah, it's looking pretty good actually, SWE at the moment. I'm pretty happy. There is some things happening that's going to change the way that SWE is a little bit. We're a couple of months in now. Myself and PJ Toby have really looked at how the shows are working and what is working and what isn't working, and we feel like we've come up with some things that are going to improve the company for the better. So that will become more apparent over the next couple of weeks or so. I think we'll start to bring in a few changes. As Bubba now sending Eric Young straight into the ring post. Like I said, Eric Young, a surprise entrant in here. So we're wondering who we could use, and I think Eric Young, with his sort of sanity background, I think he's gone more along the weapons line now. I think this this crazy Extreme Rules way is going to suit him quite nicely. Oh, slamming Bubba's face right to the post. Rolling Bubba over and all. Bubba kicking back. I was tempted to actually download the Bully Ray attire, but I'm completely out of core slots, as you all know. I'm always out of core slots. But I'm happy to get this Eric Young finally. It's a good one. And I'm sure Eric Young and Sanity are not going to be a problem on 2K18, because I would imagine that all of the stable will be on 2K18. Just makes sense, doesn't it? They're the biggest things in NXT, really. If you look at NXT at the moment, the majority of NXT are not on the game. Bar Asuka. Yeah, Bar Asuka. Are there any other NXT guys who are currently NXT on the game? I don't think there is. Roderick Strong, Bobby Roode, Aleister Black, Cassius Ono, No Way Jose, Cien Almas. That's just the male singles. Then I probably missed a few off that. Stables of Sanity, like we just said. Got Authors of Pain, got DIY. None of those are on the game. In the women's division, you've got Asuka, like I said, but then you've got Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. You've got Nikki Cross, who of course does part of Sanity anyway. Ruby Riott as well. So there's quite a few people that aren't on the... Well, the whole of NXT really, apart from Asuka, aren't on the game. So it's going to be nice to get a full new NXT roster on the game for us. And it means we'll have a lot more people we can pick from, of course. Myself and PJ Toby are looking to do a new draft when 2K18 comes out. Maybe not straight away, maybe within a few weeks of release, because we might want to get some cores downloaded first. But I think it's going to mean that the rosters are going to be a lot more interesting, a lot more diverse as well. And that's good, I like that. I'm hoping the Dudley boys are going to stay on the game, even though Bubba has now left, of course, and gone to Ring of Honor. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work license-wise. Do they still have the rights to use his image? That's going to be a tricky one, because it'd be annoying if the Hardy boys are on the game, which I'm assuming they're going to be, although I'm a little bit apprehensive about saying that for definite, but I'm pretty sure 2K would be smart enough to make sure that they are on the game, surely. If they are going to be on the game, Edge and Kristen are surely going to be on the game, because they always are now. If then they take the Dudley boys off the game when they bring back like triple threat tag team matches and so forth, that is going to be devastating. It's like the one time in years and years and years that we can start to recreate the TLC matches, and they take the Dudley boys off. So I'm hoping they don't. I know Devon's still working backstage. If Bubba is freelance and not contracted to Ring of Honor, then he will own his own image, so he might be able to give 2K authorization to continue using him. So I'm hoping that is the case. And I'm still a little bit apprehensive about the Hardys because they didn't debut until WrestleMania, which is generally the cutoff. So hopefully 2K have got them scanned and ready to go. But that would really improve our shows from top to bottom with all these new people. And definitely going to have a massive boost to the women's division as well, because the women's division is fine on this game. It's better than it has been in years, but it's still not quite where it needs to be, especially if we're running 4 shows at the moment. We haven't really got enough, and the way that women's cores are, it's very difficult to find good ones. It's a little bit frustrating, so we need to, if we can get more females on the game, that means we'll have stronger female rosters and not have to depend on cores too much. There's Bubba there. Shake, rattle and roll. There's the pin on Eric Young. 1, 2... Wow, Bubba's won. Bubba has won, and quite convincingly as well. I weren't expecting that to be so easy, to be a truthful, especially since I think Eric Young's actually rated higher. Well, the surprise entrance of Eric Young has not done anything really to spark this competition, has it really? But Bubba Ray is showing his class in singles competition, and very much like Jay Briscoe we discussed yesterday, Bubba has a chance here to show that he's not just a tag team wrestler, he can wrestle singles competition as well, and he's just proved that by picking up a victory against one of the top wrestlers in NXT at the moment. Good win for Bubba. Milking this a little bit, any old Bubba? So here is the bracket quickly. Of course, I didn't show you straight off the bat because I wanted to have a little bit of a surprise factor of Eric Young. We'll just have Bubba Ray Dudley defeat Eric Young. We've still got Mil Muertes versus Rhyno, Bray Wyatt versus Raven, and of course that main event, Chris Hero versus Pentagon Jr. And here we go. Now, I'm pretty sure Rhino's misspelt as well. I've just realised that as we came into the old list there. I'm pretty sure Rhyno spelt with an I, which he shouldn't be. Which I don't understand, because if you actually look at Rhyno when he comes out, he's got Rhyno written across his chest correctly. So how someone can create a core, write his name correctly on his attire, and then get it wrong when you type in his name is... That's beyond me a little bit, it really is. It's a little bit funny. But there we go. This is going to be an interesting one, this, because 2 big heavy hitters. We have got, I think, Rhyno in his prime, I think, is this one. I don't think this is a current day Rhyno. I think this is more of an old-fashioned Rhyno. So this should be a bit more interesting, and the power of Mil Muertes as well. Of course, currently representing the Throwdown roster. I think he's going to be a great asset to this tournament, and a real dark horse to go on and win this one, really. Well, I wouldn't even say dark horse, because dark horse means he's a little bit of an outsider, but I don't think Mil Muertes is. I think he could be one of the favourites. Big nose, isn't he, old Mil? Well, let's see what he looks like. I've not actually seen him in the... That's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. I quite like that Rhyno. Is that actually Rhyno's entrance as well? Oh, of course, Rhyno would be on 2K18 as well, wouldn't he? That's it. You think about the guys that are not on 2K17 as well. You got Jinder Mahal, I'm pretty sure I'll be on there. Brian Myers as well. Rhyno. The Hardy Boys, like I said. Those are just a few, and if you also take into account the Singh brothers, which I don't know if they will have done or not, but I think I spoke about this before. If WWE and 2K were clever, they think they would have got together and discussed that, because of obviously trying to make the game a bit more marketable in other countries. The bell goes and we are underway, and it's not very often that people match Mil Muertes size for size in the ring, and Rhyno is doing just that and sending Mil straight to the outside. War Machine Rhyno just demolishing Mil Muertes into the barricade, into the ring steps. Continuing the assault with a boot in the leg as well. Right now fishing around in the ring. Of course, remember this entire tournament is Extreme Rules. No countouts, no disqualifications, but pinfalls and submissions must take place inside the ring. And wow, I don't quite know what happened there, but the table snapped in half. Obviously not a Botchamania table, it's the complete opposite. But either way, I don't even know if that counts as Rhyno going through the table, does it? It shouldn't do, but... Well, this fight is really good on the outside. Both these guys big, strong, effective. And when one of them starts to get control, I think it could be difficult for the other one to fight back. But then again, Rhyno, is that drop kick? Wow, not a man you'd expect to be hitting drop kicks. Now working submissions. That's a clever move. Working submissions here on Mil Muertes is a good move. Just trying to weaken the legs, and that's definitely a good way forward. Trying to keep the big man grounded, but it's not worked for too long. As Mil, using his strength now. Two gut busters. Now slamming the arm of Rhyno into the mat, and this is really actually really is a back and forth match. Both these guys determined not to lose. They know how big it is to potentially get forward and win this tournament. Of course, the amount of ranking points is worth thinking about it, right? You've got first round's worth 5 points, second round 5 points, third round 5 points. Then the final's going to take place in the main event of a pay-per-view, which means that it's worth triple points, which would be 15. So if you win this tournament, you're going to get 30 ranking points, which is massive. So both these guys know it could be the big difference for them in this roster, especially at the moment when the ranking points are still not that open. They're still pretty condensed, and 30 points is really going to throw you a big way up the old ranking system, and that could get you in a championship picture. As Rhyno now slamming the face of Muertes into the barricade. Muertes fighting back. Rhyno catching the leg, big elbow in the knee. And Muertes once again fighting back. Big right hands and slamming Rhyno headfirst into the mat. And Mil now just backing away from Rhyno. Mil's got himself a baseball bat, but Rhyno fights it away from him. And now Mil fights it away from Rhyno. Yeah, these reversals with the weapons are a bit annoying, aren't they? And finally, Rhyno just hitting Mil with a big right hand, throws him back in the ring. Big elbow to the face. Rhyno slides back in now, bringing Mil back up to his feet, takes him up on his shoulder. Death Valley driver by Rhyno on Mil Muertes. Oh, we've seen this before. Lining Mil Muertes up. Gore! 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 Oh my god! 2. And no, Mil's kicked out. Wow. Oh my god. I'm struggling to do that accent, it hurt my throat. Oh my god. Rhyno once again getting a hold of another table. We've already broken one on one. Mil goes face first into the table. I'm hoping then if they bring back the old match creator. I say they bring back the old match creator. Match creator's never really happened, but there was a very mild version of match creator, wasn't there? It'd be nice if they allowed certain things such as casket matches and so forth to start being made again. Because I miss the old casket match. I'm hoping that match creator is not going to be like a really basic, boring thing where you can just like make a standard match. I'm hoping there's going to be like some special things in there, like casket matches, or Buried Alive would be nice as well, or stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Or bringing back Inferno matches. You have a flaming ring for Inferno matches. Maybe you could make a well, that'd be a really long-winded match, though, wouldn't it? I was thinking, would it be cool if you could make what's it called? I've forgotten what it's called. Oh, what is it called? Aztec Warfare. That's the phrase. A spear by Mil Muertes now on Rhyno. Mil not going for the pin. That's a bit weird. Yeah, Aztec Warfare match, of course, the Lucha Underground's 30-man match that you enter like a Royal Rumble, but then the only way to be eliminated is by pinfall or submission, not by elimination of the top rope. If that is possible, that'd be fantastic. And I'd like to also potentially make see if you could do that as well. If you could make a 10-man Royal Rumble and make it so you can actually have it in any arena rather than having it stuck in the... Because that annoys me, that does. Then that'd be pretty cool, because then we could start to do big matches like that to crown #1 contenders. A big sort of battle royals. I know they're going to allow 8 people in the ring at once now for a battle royal, so that's really going to help us with just trying to, especially when the season first starts, trying to get some momentum for someone by winning a big match like that. But this match is really going the distance, isn't it? Suplex there by Rhyno on Mil Muertes. And Rhyno, of course, busted open. That is the point in this tournament. We need blood. That's how this tournament works. Mil now taking Rhyno up, showing his strength once again. I think Mil might be a little bit tiny, you know. What do you think? I think he might be a little bit on this. The thing is, he's the best Mil Muertes as a flatliner. That could be all. He's the best Mil Muertes on there, but I think he's just a little bit small. Either that or Rhyno's a bit big. And Mil Muertes makes his way through to face off against Bubba Ray Dudley in the next round. I know Rhyno was a big guy, so maybe Mil just doesn't look right in this one. Let's see what it looks like against Bubba in a few days' time to see whether that is a little bit better for him. But there was the gore there by Rhyno earlier on. Massive spear, but only enough to get the 2 count. So close to the 3 though. And there was a spear there by Mil Muertes as well. But it was this, of course, the flatliner that finally finished the match off. For the 1, the 2, and the 3. And the man from beyond the grave makes his way in to the quarterfinals of this King of Carnage tournament. Only Bully Ray stands in his way now to reaching the semi-finals. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? Yeah, that went wrong. Either way, Mil Muertes is facing Bubba Ray in the next round. And here is our next match. Then it is going to be Bray Wyatt taking on Raven. And here we go. Real interesting match, this one as well. Two guys who arguably are very similar across the genres, of course. Bray Wyatt and his Wyatt family here in WWE. Well, not anymore, of course. Bray Wyatt's running solo now. But his Wyatt family did dominate WWE for quite some time. And if you look back at WCW and ECW, Raven's flock was very much a very similar stable back in the day. And this is a retro Raven we have going on here. And I'm not sure if it's the best one. It's tricky because I can't remember what retro Raven looks like. Raven, WCW. Let's just Google WCW Raven, see what it looks like. I know what it looks like now. But my mind's gone a bit blank on what it used to look like. Back in the early 90s as well, really. It's not far off this one, actually, is it? We'll have a look. You guys let me know what you think about this Raven as well. I like Raven. Yeah, it's not bad, actually, is it? I think that's the one I've got, this one, okay. Let's have a quick look now when he comes out anyway. I think it's actually better. Oh, that's the right shirt as well. He looks a bit Mexican. Does look a bit Mexican. So Bray Wyatt looking to make his way through to the quarterfinals. Of course, the winner of this one will face off against the winner of our fourth and final match here this evening, Pentagon Jr. versus Chris Hero we're going for. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good, actually. But again, you can let me know what you think in the comment section down below, whether you think this is a good Raven or not. I actually quite like it. I think if you search a retro Raven on Google Images, it is actually quite a good likeness. Motorbike, not quite sure about, but there you go. Obviously stealing some of the Undertaker's entrance by the looks of it. But yeah, this one should be interesting. Like I said, both these guys very similar in sort of mental ways. Sort of the way that they, the ring philosophy and so forth, and how they can lead a group the way they do. But this should be a really interesting match now. And both these guys, like I said, desperate to get through to the next round. Although, knowing that either Chris Hero or Pentagon Jr. is waiting there for you might not be as fun as it sounds. Raven straight away sending Bray Wyatt to the outside, which is an interesting way forward. As Raven dropping the elbow right on the inside of the knee and continues to strike the knee as well. And Raven definitely looking like he's got a game plan here. He's going after the leg of Bray Wyatt, trying to take him down. Once again, just dropping an elbow right on the inside of the knee. Bray slamming Raven's face off the table, and now continuing the attack himself before catching Raven in a pump handle drop on the outside. Now that's going to hurt your back. I've just been spammed on my screen by YouTube notifications all of a sudden. Ah! Everywhere. Okay, that's fine. I've managed to get rid of them all. Does anybody else have the problem, right, with the... I don't know if everyone else has the YouTube notifications switched on like I have, where they pop up at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Which obviously is pretty good when you've set it up correctly, and it's... Like, I've done that. I've got just my favourite YouTube channels I've got set up to show me a thing, but also it pops up whenever one of you guys send me a comment, which is pretty good as well. It means I can respond a little bit quicker normally. But the problem I have had is that sometimes they get stuck. It's almost like the add-on that is loading them, for me, crashes and the comments get stuck, and I have to shut the whole internet down, and then even that doesn't work. I have to shut the whole internet down, then I have to go into my task manager and shut down all the individual add-ons as well to actually get rid of it. It's right annoying. It doesn't seem to have been alright recently though. Raven now still continuing the assault here on Bray Wyatt and looking pretty good in the process, actually. So I've just had a bit of news pop up on my computer as well that... I don't know how to read this, right? Paige's family, obviously the Knights, run their own wrestling company here in the UK. Currently, well, I say currently, formerly, Alberto Del Rio was the world champion of the brand. He has now been stripped of that championship. No reason has been given as to why, but they've declared the championship as vacant and they're going to have a 32-man tournament to determine the new champion. Now, whether that's just because he can't get back to... there's a big discus lariat there by Raven. Whether he can't get back to defend and they've decided this is the best thing for their company, or whether it's to do with, obviously, the current situation between Paige and Del Rio and the police and so forth, I couldn't tell you, but based on what Paige's brother said on Twitter the other day about Del Rio being abusive and this, that and the other, it wouldn't surprise me if it was the latter and they stripped it and just refused to use him as part of their shows anymore, to be honest. She needs to get away from him. She really does. She's still, if she can get away from him and get her head screwed back on, she can still make a great career for herself in WWE, but at the moment, it's a little bit risky, isn't it? As Raven being stalked now, I thought he was being stalked there for his sister Abigail, potentially, but Wyatt decides against it and just launches Raven across the ring using his neck. Raven dropped, has a knee dropped right in his back. Bray now dropping to the outside, looking for a little bit of assistance. Finds himself, oh my god, did you see that? It's like he slid back in with such force that he just headbutted Raven in the chin. And now assaulting him with the kendo stick across the back. Raven fighting back, getting the kendo stick for himself and catching Bray with a big right hand. Raven throwing Bray into the corner. Oh, drapes him over the top rope. Big spiked DDT. Bray looks out. There's the pin. 1, 2. Quote the Raven, nevermore. He is on his way through to the quarterfinals, defeating Bray Wyatt in the first round. There's been a few surprising victories here and there, hasn't there, in this first round? But of course, don't know, Raven in his prime. Never really got a fantastic opportunity in WWE or WCW, did he? He was really more of a hardcore name, but in TNA, not TNA, he wasn't TNA, wasn't he? But in ECW, he was very much a main man over there, and I think he's trying to show PJ Toby that he should be given a little bit more opportunities here and there on, of course, Mayhem. But I'm not quite sure he's going to get those opportunities. Mayhem is a pretty stacked brand at the moment. And my God, you wait until Sunday when we get the new episode of Mayhem uploaded. You've got to watch this new episode of Mayhem. It's a Mystery Vortex style show, so none of the card is going to be pre-announced. You're only going to find out who's in the matches as we hit the entrances. I don't even know who's in there yet, and PJ Toby has promised at least one debutant every single match. Yeah, just wow. And here is our fourth and final match of the evening. It is going to be Chris Hero taking on Pentagon Jr. for that place against Raven in the quarterfinals. And here we go. Now, I was so glad when this match was drawn out of the hat because these two guys did have a pretty epic set of matches across the American indie scene last year. Of course, before Chris Hero rejoined WWE. And you can actually still buy shirts for that match from Pro Wrestling Tees. Chris Hero did have his own specific shirt made for that match. And he actually had his face painted as well. Pretty cool, like Pentagon Jr. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I do like it. And now we get a chance to see them both here interactively on SWE Universe mode. Yeah, I don't know why I did that either, I apologise. But this is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to this, actually. Two big heavy hitters. And Pentagon not shy at all about using a little bit of weaponry, is he? Weapons are definitely in his forte. But I think Chris Hero could be a difficult one for him to defeat. Hero, of course, a big man here in SWE. And still not a good core for Hero anywhere. Pentagon Jr. It's not a bad Pentagon Jr. I've gone for the more Pentagon Dark version, of course, that he's using now. I think this is quite good, actually. It does the trick. Cero miedo. Cero miedo. And this is going to be an epic match. I can feel it now. I can feel it in my bones that this is going to be a good one. Chris Hero takes on Pentagon Jr. in a match. Can you see this match normally? Pentagon currently on Mayhem. Chris Hero. Where is Chris Hero these days? He's on Adrenaline. So both PJ Toby's brands. Of course, it's a thing that's why I love doing these tournaments as well, because it's a good way for people that would never normally face each other to do so. Like you look at tonight as well, we've seen so far, of course, Eric Young not currently in SWE, and after that diabolical performance earlier on against Bubba Ray, might not be, again. Of course, Rhyno from Adrenaline, or is he on Mayhem? I think he's on Mayhem actually. Mil Muertes from Throwdown, and we've also seen the other match. Oh yeah, Bray Wyatt, who of course is on Throwdown, and Raven of course is on Mayhem. So all the matches we've seen so far tonight are all people from different brands. So again, the reason why I like doing these tournaments is just to try and mix things up a little bit. And it's great for the rankings, like I said. Because of course the people that have won tonight are going to get those ranking points. The people that have lost are going to lose them ranking points. And it is going to help strengthen our rosters out a little bit more. Chris Hero now with the Russian leg sweep there on Pentagon Jr. on the outside, of course. No disqualifications, no count-outs. It is Extreme Rules. So these two guys can fight out here all they like. Which is great for me because it means I'm not going to have any stupid double count-outs to try and contend with. Because that is often a problem I do have. Gotta hate those stupid double count-outs. Pentagon now in control on the outside. Bring in Hero back up. Don't need to boot him in the face several times. And they're getting further and further and further up the ramp. I don't know where these two guys are off to, but like I said, remember that pinfalls must take place inside the ring. Nothing can happen up here. Oh, big knee to the face there of Pentagon before dropping a boot right in the gut as well. And a big boot in the face of his own, really. Trying to get back at Pentagon for the early assault. Apparently Rey Mysterio is negotiating with WWE and Global Force Wrestling about potentially returning. That's interesting. Of course, WWE will be looking for someone to really strengthen their Cruiserweight division. And they're probably offering a lot more money to Rey Mysterio. Whereas Global Force Wrestling potentially want to use him as a main eventer. Interesting though. I think it would be nice to see him in WWE again. Of course, he can't work as long as scheduled as what WWE were offering him before, but at least he knows he's going to get guaranteed payments. Whereas if you go to Global Force Wrestling, at the moment it's a little bit dodgy. But then again, there could be more money in it for him for Global Force, because it means that he can obviously do his tapings, get paid, and then he hasn't got to go back to TNA then for a couple of months the way they're currently working and doing their tapings, can he? DDT in the ankle of Chris Hero into the mat now. And slamming the knee into that. That's a steel rampway, that. That's not comfortable. Not comfortable at all. Hero looks to be okay though. Knee doesn't look to be giving him too much problems as he gets back into it. And now elbows straight across the trapezius and the clavicle there of Pentagon Jr. Here again, sending Pentagon further up the ramp. Again, not quite sure what they're looking to accomplish here. And even further at the ramp now. See if they could like throw people. I don't know if there's any like OMG moments up here where you can like powerbomb people off. That'd be amazing. They should do that. They should do some OMG moments where they've got like tables maybe set up on the side of the ramp maybe somewhere, and you can powerbomb your opponent off the table onto the tables. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be well happy with that. Yeah. Hero elbow in the face, and a second elbow in the face of Pentagon. And a third big elbow, and Pentagon drops, but again, very, very close to the edge. But not enough to potentially fall off yet. Pentagon gets a knee. Or gets an elbow drop right inside his knee, should I say. There's such a lot of strikes in this one. There's going to be a lot of pain running through both these guys' bodies. With the stiff strikes we've seen, plus all the... Oh, another big stiff knee to the face. Plus all of the aggression taking place on the steel rampway. It's going to cause damage. As Hero now sending Pentagon back down towards the ring. Pentagon, as you can see, legs just buckling halfway down. And maybe the damage has been done by Hero. But now again sending Pentagon into the ring this time. Hero follows him in. Went for another knee, but Pentagon rolled out the way. Hero with the forearm now taking Pentagon up. No, Pentagon flipped out of the pile driver. Flipped out of the pile driver, out of the suplex, should I say, into a neck breaker. Oh, now looking for this arm breaker. Of course, he utilizes this quite a lot in Lucha Underground. Bam, stamping on that arm. Now stalking the grounded Chris Hero. Could we see potentially a package pile driver? It takes him up. There it is. Package pile driver by Pentagon Jr. on Chris Hero. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh! And Hero's kicked out. Christopher Hero has just kicked out of a package pile driver by Pentagon Jr. That's not something that anybody's ever said. Springboard leg drop there by Pentagon on Hero. And now just continuing the assault. Pentagon gets taken down there by Hero. And a stamp right in the gut by Hero. Then a stamp on the arm as well. Hero, big strike to the face. Again, bringing Pentagon up. Right hand. Spins around in the crossroads. But Hero looking for a little bit of assistance here underneath the ring. See what sort of toys he can find. There's a steel chair. And he can't get in the ring because of poor coding. Well, he's back in the ring now. See, poor coding there has just cost Chris Hero a great opportunity with a steel chair. As Pentagon now looking for that shin breaker and hits it. Of course, a lot of damage has been done to the legs already of Chris Hero up that ramp. Pentagon. Oh, look at that. It's a package pump handle slam into the pin. Again, though, Hero kicking out. What does Pentagon need to do here to pick up the victory? And I think this Pentagon looks a bit small as well. Am I wrong there? Oh no, this is Pentagon's arm breaker. Bam! Arm breaker by Pentagon on Chris Hero. A pin once again. 1, 2, and 3. And finally, Chris Hero could not kick out once again. Pentagon is making his way through to the next round. Pentagon, in fairness, did the majority of the damage in this match. And it was only a matter of time before Hero had to stay down. There's a package pile drive by Pentagon. That was only enough for a 2 count, believe it or not. See, that should have been the end of the match right there. Crossroads by Chris Hero. Pump handle, package driver. Only enough for the 2, and then it of course was this. His signature maneuver, the arm breaker, which finally was enough to keep Chris Hero down. Not the strongest or the heaviest, but definitely the straw that broke the camel's back. And there is the pin for the 1, the 2, and the 3. So Pentagon Jr. goes on to the next round to face off against... I've forgotten. Raven. Pretty good match actually as well. And of course, we're going to see Mil Muertes taking on Bubba Ray Dudley. A couple of really good matches, and of course, you'll have to tune in a couple of days' time to see how they pan out and who is going to make their way into the final. Of course, if you enjoyed this episode of the King of Carnage tournament, please let us know by hitting that like button and, of course, subscribe for more. I've been Champion Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for some more King of Carnage and SWE Universe mode. Bye.
The 1, 2, 3.